2 of ZohoDay 2022. Actually, we are past ZohoDay 2022 right now. Thanks for joining me here for another conversation about what you and your company are doing.
Yeah.
Well, you're apparently the CEO of the company.
I am, yeah.
What you and your company are doing, why you are using Zoho, what made you going that route, what you are using of Zoho, and what, at the end of the day, you probably would like to get more, along with how you got where you are, and next steps.
That's a very long question.
It's a very long. Well, we'll cut it into pieces. Let's start with.
I will try and
introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Adi Mula, and I'm CEO of Foodhub. And we started using Zoho to simplify our processes. And what was important to us is that each team could have a tool that will help them, but all the tools were connected together. So just to give you an example, finance has got a suite of finance tools. Sometimes we don't need complex tools to be able to do their job. And rather than us shopping around, going to another company that maybe gives us an overcomplicated product, Zoho is the right fit. To give you an example, they've got something called Zoho Contract, which probably not many people know. But it's a very good tool to keep all the contracts in one place, and at the same time, making sure they notify us when those contracts are about to expire. We started with a CRM initially, and actually that solved the biggest headache I had. So we were doing our internal sales with our own tools, so we moved to that, and that's given us the power and the flexibility to run our teams. And as we run in different countries, they have different needs. So we're able to segregate the CRM while still keeping it together. So different teams have different modules, but the core of it is still the same.
And I bet you're losing a hell of a lot less Excel sheets right now.
Yeah. Oh, the Excel sheet was a big problem. And one of the things we were having a problem, we used to have huge Excel sheets with hundreds of numbers, phone numbers and personal details in them. And that was a GDPR risk for us. Because somebody could have just downloaded it and shared it online. Whilst now it's all stored in Zoho, we've got the right security levels, the right permissions to make sure such thing doesn't happen.
When implementing Zoho, did you encounter any challenges, implementation challenges?
Initially, it was fairly easy, actually. We did a very basic version. And we had some challenges along the way that Zoho was able to help and guide us. And we also used their premium partners who had a wide knowledge of the products who helped us along the way. Sometimes it's about speed. We would have been able to figure it out ourselves. However, for us, it was important that we get running as quickly as we can. But most of the tools that we have, we can figure them ourselves. And when we get stuck, we either reach out to a partner or to Zoho themselves.
Is there any particular challenge that you have in mind that
for Zoho
slowed down the implementation process?
People, our own internal people, they don't like change. In terms of from Zoho point of view, I don't see any challenges. What the best thing you get about Zoho is they constantly release things. They constantly listen to their customers and they get new features. So it might not have everything you need today, but in a year's time or 6 months' time, it will. And similar, that's what happened with us. We started so long ago, and it didn't have everything we needed. But they slowly just kept adding it, kept adding. And then as they released new thing, you look at it and you think, wow, actually this is quite a good feature. I need this, or I can implement this, or I can implement it in the future.
How did you overcome the people challenge, the change management challenge?
We did it slowly, so we didn't rush. So rather than us try and move all of my teams to, let's say, Zoho CRM, we moved the desk team. And once we refined and we fixed most of their challenges, we said, okay, now we're at the good stage. Then we moved the field team. And even then we didn't move everybody, so we slowly kept moving people to that. And actually that's the best way to adopt new technologies.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so just start slowly, because sometimes even when you start, you think you've covered all your bases.
No, you haven't.
But then you haven't. You're like, there's something you, I was like, oh, I forgot about that. So that's why start slowly, keep making the changes, and then by the time you get to a certain stage, halfway or even more, you've covered most of the essential things.
Yeah. What are your next steps going forward with Zoho, or well, with Zoho?
Yes, with Zoho. I am quite looking at their subscriptions package and their invoicing. I think there's a lot more we can do on the finance side. At the moment, I think their product is not as mature as I'd like it to be. However, from some of the presentation they showed today, the roadmap looks really interesting in what they can do, and I think they will be able to meet our needs in terms of that. So a lot more finance stuff to be implemented.
Yes, international bookkeeping and taxation is
it's a complex.
No fun.
It's no
fun. So that's
and it is a big challenge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But they seem to be doing good on what they're planning to release. Again, some of their products, and we spoke today with them at the conference, their calendar, I think it needs a little bit of work. However, don't know whether it's public knowledge yet, but they seem to be working on a new calendar app, which seems to be quite nice.
Yeah, well,
so
we'll, as we have a subscription, we'll see it soon, right?
Yes, we will. We will. One of the guys promised that he'll get me a pre-beta preview of it. That's good. Having a native mail client, that's quite interesting, actually. That's what they spoke about yesterday. So I'm looking forward to that.
What are you using now, the webmail client, or do you delegate that to Outlook or
I
similar?
don't delegate it to Outlook, but at the moment I'm delegating it to the Apple's calendar program.
Well, it's one of the other apps I hate.
It is okay. You gotta make do. Zoho is not the solution to all of our problems, but it does help a lot in that journey. And again, with the new app, looks great. So
doesn't solve all problems. What is top of your list? What you wish that they should or could solve for you?
On calendar or overall?
Overall.
Top of my list, I think their chat, their meetings client, I think is still not on par with Zoom. And I'd look forward to seeing the conferencing to support conference rooms. Because at the moment, when we have internal meetings, we're using Zoho Meet. But then when you want to put it on screen, have two screens connecting and talking to each other and have remote people join, then you have to switch to Zoom. So that's something, and I was speaking to the product team, and it looks like it's in their roadmap to do something along that. And I'm confident that they will do a good job of it.
Whereas you are comparing to the gold standard right now.
I am, but...
that is aspirational to be as good as Zoom.
Of course it is. But that is Zoho. Zoho can achieve some of those things. And what seems to happen, and this might be completely wrong, they seem to throw a big team at it, get it to a really good level, and then they leave a team to keep innovating. That might be completely wrong, by the way. I'm just talking from my perspective.
Well, what is important is what is received, right?
Yes.
And if you receive the message that your challenges are taken care of, what better can happen, right?
That's it.
From your own roadmap, what are the next steps that you are taking on?
From our own on Zoho, we just moved mail to Zoho. So that was a big move for us. We're just implementing payroll and books. So that's our next step with Zoho.
The move to mail, I think you said you used Google Mail before, right?
We did.
And this was smooth?
I was worried about that. I thought it was going to go horribly wrong because it was a big task to move 1,100 people over. I was, concerned, to say the least. But the way they handled it was really good, actually. Zoho helped, the partner that we use helped, and everything moved really smoothly. The only thing we had to make sure that everybody knew their Zoho password, because we were used to log in with Google into Zoho, and like nobody knew their password. So that was our biggest challenge, but that was solved fairly easy. Their Zoho Mail looks really good, to be honest. It does everything that Google does. I think still Google is the leading in that field.
It's far better known, yeah.
But Zoho is not far from it.
Okay.
It's not far. It's a really good client. And especially for large companies, if you've already got a Zoho subscription, then it makes sense to move mail. For 10 or 15 licenses, it's not that big. For me, I think maybe more focus groups like this one with more people, more maybe virtual ones as well, open to talk to the developers or product managers and things like that. So being here has been great, but it's not always possible to attend. So next week, I believe there's another one in London, but I can't attend that in London because I am in India.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit more of a virtual, similar events to this, but more virtual where you can connect with the team more.
Now they will know it.
They will. That's it.
Now they will know it. Thanks, Adi, for this.
Thank you very much. Good to meet you.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, good to meet you too. And
Thank you.
I hope you have lots of success. Continue your success.